Did you know that it took 15 days to land the first man on moon? Yes, I am talking about the Apollo 11 mission, which took 15 days including the preparation, quarantine period, launch, land and coming back as well. Now if 15 days were enough for NASA to execute Apollo 11, I believe 15 days are also enough for me to tell whether the Galaxy S25 is worth 81,000 rupees or not. I am Mustafa, this is the Samsung Galaxy S25 review. Let's begin. Before any hardware or software, I want to say that Samsung Galaxy S25 comes with an excellent form factor. It is decently slim, lightweight and compact, and it just fits perfectly in your hands and pockets. Now apart from that, the Samsung Galaxy S25 is properly protected as well. It comes with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 front and back both, armor aluminum on the sides, and it has an IP68 rating against dust and water. Now according to these specifications, the Samsung Galaxy S25 seems pretty rugged. But despite all this, it feels a little fragile, as if it will break if you drop it. So let's do a drop test. Kidding. Do you really think I'm gonna do that? No. Now the in-hand feel and durability is fine, but what I really hate about the S25's design is that this is the same design as last year and last to last year and last to last year. Moreover, this color is called icy blue, which I feel is a little boring.
No.
However, there is one more color, navy blue, which looks quite classy. So to be honest, over these 15 days, I really enjoyed using the Samsung Galaxy S25 because A, its comfortable design, and B, One UI 7. Gentlemen, what I am about to say here can start a war. But I believe One UI 7 is the only skin that can beat Apple's iOS, which is considered to be the best in the business. Yes, you heard it right. One UI 7 has some really cool animations, so many customization options, smooth apps optimization, and well, there is AI too. But what sounds better is that this phone will receive such updates for 7 years, which no iPhone can do at the moment. Moreover, Samsung has also collaborated with Google to integrate its Gemini with Bixby. What it did is made this smartphone really smart. For example, if you go to settings and search "my eyes are burning," it will search out the eye comfort shield. Tell me which other phone can do that. There is one more AI feature that I would like to show you, Audio Eraser. You get two options, voices and noise, and you can drag this scale to adjust the intensity of audio. Now there is a miss. When I drag the voices to 100 and noise to 0, there was still noise in the background. But when I did the opposite, voice was completely mute. Hear yourself.
So this is the audio sample of the Samsung Galaxy S25 and you are watching me playing with the Audio Eraser feature.
Cut short, One UI 7 is smooth, clean and fascinating. There is AI that you were waiting for, which can actually be useful once you get a hang to it, but it needs improvement. However, this is not the only thing that needs improvement on this phone. I am talking about its performance, and to test how powerful the Samsung Galaxy S25 is, I ran some benchmarks. Starting with AnTuTu, the Samsung Galaxy S25, which is powered by the most powerful smartphone chipset yet, Snapdragon 8 Elite, only scored around 2 million, which is a little disappointing because phones like Vivo X Fold 3 Pro and iQOO 12 with an year-old hardware scored this much and even better. I also ran a stress test to check its thermals. There too, the Samsung Galaxy S25 did not perform so well. It throttled a lot and got heat up. While the max score it showed was decent, the average score could be better. But in Geekbench, both single core and multi-core scores are really good if we compare them to other flagship smartphones. However, these are just numbers and tests. Now if I talk about real world experience, there's only one thing that needs to be fixed in performance of this phone, and that is its thermals. I noticed some heating issues while running heavy tasks such as gaming and using its camera. But apart from that, the whole experience is quite smooth. The word smooth reminds me of its display, and it's a Samsung display on a Samsung flagship phone. That's all I have to say, period. Kidding again. It is a 6.1-inch FHD Plus AMOLED display that supports HDR10 Plus and 120Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision is not there, but oh wow.
Just looking like a wow.
This display puts the cherry on the cake with the whole One UI 7 experience. It is bright, enough bright for you to use under sunlight. It's super smooth thanks to its 120Hz refresh rate. It's crisp enough, and when it comes to colors, according to Calman, the display has a really good color accuracy, as we can see on this test. As I said, it's a Samsung display on a Samsung flagship phone, period. Now let's talk about that one feature which many of you guys are here for. It's camera. The real bummer here is that there is genuinely no change on the camera. This same camera setup you get on the Samsung Galaxy S24 as well, which is a little sad. Now coming to its camera samples, so more than its main camera and telephoto lens, I liked its ultra wide lens. It retains colors and details close to the main camera, which we get to see very rarely on Android phones. About its main camera, it clicks really nice pictures in good lighting conditions. Well lit, detailed shots, highlights and shadows are also very nice. Colors feel slightly boosted and saturated, but they don't look unnatural. I also had so much fun in macro photography. It even captures small details and produces vibrant colors in macro shots. Coming to portrait shots now, bokeh effect is good, skin tones are nice, but in some photos the edge detection seems off and very artificial also. Moreover, low light portraits are even worse sometimes. Just have a look at these pictures. I noticed oversaturation and smoothing in these shots, and it has a little bit of lighting there. However, in dark the portraits look decent. Talking about low light photography, on one X the S25 clicks really detailed and well lit shots. These are not unnecessarily bright. Yes, there is processing, but light management is really good. However, as soon as you go to 2x or 3x, it starts losing details and the pictures become blur and grainy as well, which doesn't look good at all. Coming to the front, I really liked its 12 megapixel selfie shooter, as it captures natural looking pictures and also doesn't smoothen the skin at all, which means you get detailed and crisp selfies on this phone. Now coming to its last parameter, the battery. This phone has a 4000 mAh battery that supports 25 watt fast charging. It charges 0 to 100% in just 75 minutes. Now just because iPhone charges 0 to 100% in around 95 minutes, but that doesn't happen if you are an Android user. Many Android flagship these days charges 0 to 100 in just 40 minutes. Moreover, the battery consumption of the S25 is also pretty high. I used GPS on it for an hour and it consumed 7% of the battery. With that, I also did some heavy gaming for 15 minutes and 5% of the battery dropped. So after 15 days of usage, I can say that on 100%, I don't think this phone will last even 24 hours. So these were my observations on the Samsung Galaxy S25 that I understood over 15 days. Now 81,000 rupees questions, whether should you buy it or not. So my friend, if you are looking for a performance centric phone, a camera phone or a battery phone, don't go for it. But like most iPhone users, if you are looking for a clean, smooth and advanced experience from a smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S25 can make a good choice. Because all the features that you don't get on the iPhone 16, you get them all here. So share your thoughts, let me know in the comments how you like the Samsung Galaxy S25, and I will be back soon.